What's going on, guys? It is your boy Fang Mobile Gaming back on the channel to give you guys a full breakdown on relics because we just finished the 5-star relic grind and some of you guys will be getting ready to get into the same grind that I just did. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Alright, so you guys have the Caverns of Corrosion all unlocked. You probably been to the 3rd planet to unlock the rest of the Caverns of Corrosion because the last 2 are locked behind the 3rd location of the game. So if you want to go for these 2 sets, make sure that you are on the 3rd location and you're far enough in the story for that, alright? Hopefully you guys have been saving up your fuel that you got from Palm or the shop because now is the time to go absolute ham on the Caverns of Corrosion. Anybody that told you otherwise, you can use your fuel to get experience and use your fuel to get credits and essential materials at level 30 plus this, 30 this. They all capped you. They're probably the same people that make all these stupid tier lists that make no sense. You should have saved your fuel until level 40 because I've been telling you for multiple videos. Save your fuel. Don't use it. Save your fuel until level 40. You're capping yourself if you think I was lying. Why? What I was able to do with 40 plus fuel refreshes today. You see it on the screen. Do I need to say anything? You can get all these 5-star runs enough to fuel a whole goddamn army with your free-to-play energy. You should have saved it to level 40. If you didn't save, it's gonna take you weeks to get what I have on screen right now. You should have just saved, save. It's pretty easy to do. Now, when you first get this, make sure that you have at least 1 DPS at level 60, your main DPS preferably. If you're not using Natasha or Bailu, you need to level up Natasha or your Bailu because you're gonna want a full set first on one of them, so that way you can make this even easier on yourself, alright? Now, we're gonna go ahead and go into the sets themselves. I'm gonna tell you guys which sets you guys should be taking on your characters. Alright, so what you're looking at on screen right now from left to right is going to be all of these sets currently in the game as of 1.0. I want to simplify this. If you look at it, the Fire Plus, Lightning Plus is basically going to be increased elemental damage for the 2-piece sets. And then the 4-piece sets are going to be the secondary icon right here. So with the Fire Piece set, you're going to get increased skill damage. The other one's going to be attack up. Action increases the advance forward. Crit damage increase. Now keep in mind that these 4-piece sets do have certain conditions. You may have to have like your ultimate go off first before you get the skill damage on this one. You may have to have, I don't know, it tells you in game what you need to do for the 4-piece set. When you're looking at this screen, don't worry about how you're supposed to trigger the 4-piece set. Just be concerned with if the character can even utilize it or not first. So these are more of like a basic build. All your elementals could use these sets and be just fine. Or if you wanted to, you can take a 2-piece from the elemental set and use it on your basic set. So you get the attack plus or the break effect. So most of you guys should be familiar with these 2 pieces right here. These special sets are going to be like your defense plus, increasing the shield effect on the 4-piece. The reduced damage when the character is less than 50% HP. They have a chance to restore their HP and have a regain effect of +5 on their energy. And then you got the healer set, which is going to grant 1 skill point at the start of combat. So you guys can decide for yourselves what set is going to be best for whichever playstyle you want to go for. Alright, so we're going to take a look at the next set. So we're going to be talking about Planetary ornaments. So for your tank orbs, I want to separate this by like tank, DPS, support, that kind of thing. So some of these are going to be better than others, but just so you guys can see everything on screen, your Planetary ornaments are going to have a specific perk that they do to give you more of what the first set does. Essentially, the Bellabog of the Architects here is going to give you defense plus, but the perk to go off is going to give you more defense up when you have your effect hit rate be 50% or higher. Now, the Fleet of the Ageless is probably the best tank set because it's going to give you more HP increase, but it's going to be increasing the attack of your party when your speed stat is 120. This is probably the best tank slash support planetary ornament you can go for on your character. This is going to give you an AoE attack buff, essentially. The Talia Kingdom of Planetary is going to be increasing your break effect, and the perk is going to be increasing that break effect even more when the speed stat is 145. So that's something you want to decide if you want to do that or not. The support orbs, again, we just talked about two of them, the Bellabog and the Fleet of the Ageless. The Fleet of the Ageless is a really good support because, again, you can have all four of your characters, minus your main DPS, pretty much giving you guys an AoE buff, essentially. So it's going to be really good for that one. The Spratly Von Watt-Q is going to be giving you guys more energy. And then at speed 120, it's going to give you advanced forward increase at the start of battle by 40%. And then you got the Talia effect here. So these are going to be the ones you want to use for your supports. Now the DPS is pretty much every other set. So the Pan-Galactic Commercial Enterprise at the top is going to be for like your debuffers, anybody that does debuff, whether they inflict bleed or wind shear, things of that nature. You're going to want to increase their effect hit rate plus. And the perk on this one is going to be attack increase based on their effect hit rate. So this is going to be good for your debuffers, alright? Because they're going to be getting more on the effect hit rate, and the perk has no requirement for it. So there's going to be no speed buff, no nothing. They get this just by having the set equipped. Now the Celestial Differentiator is going to give you more crit damage, and your crit rate will go up only for your first hit when you have crit damage at 120%. This is going to be really good for like your single target DPS. That's going to be relying on crit. And the Inner Solcero is going to be giving you more crit rate. And your follow-up attacks like Herta or somebody like Himiko might want to use this to increase their ultimate damage when their crit rate is at 50%. So it's going to be a really good set for like your AoEs and your follow-up attackers. Now another basic DPS set is going to be the Space Silly Station. This is going to be ones you probably use all around. It's going to be giving you more attack and even more attack when you have your speed at 120%. So if you don't really know what to do, just go for the Space Silly Station. It's going to be really good, but again, your crit damage is going to be for specific people like your Sealy. Alright, so we're going to talk about the main stats now. So the main stat is going to be the main specific stat that's going to be leveling up as you level up the equipment. It's going to be right here in orange whenever you look at it. So you're only able to get HP and attack on your helmet and your hands. Everything else, you're going to be having RNG if you're going to be getting this stuff. So you guys kind of have to decide for yourselves if you guys kind of want to capitalize on HP, defense, or if you got a DPS. I would probably like focus on, if I got like a debuffer like Whelp, I'll probably want to like effect hit rate. Maybe if you want them to break more, but if you need speed, because some of these perks for some of these planetary ornaments require you to have crit damage or crit rate or speed. What was another one? You need effect hit rate. So that's when you might want to go for some of these main stats or even sub-stats when we talk about it, because you're going to want to be able to level this up. This is going to go up. When you get these sub-stats right here, this isn't going to change. You do have a chance to increase the sub-stat every like 6 levels or so, but you may want to focus on the main stat for when you level up your relic equipment. So it's kind of RNG based on the sub-stats though, so keep that in mind. Now the interesting thing about your planetary ornament is that you're going to be able to get basically your elemental damage boost on most of these. So, but speed is always going to be really good for your boots. These sub-stats, all these sub-stats are on screen for you guys to see, and you got that right here. So every 6 enhancements will get you guys a possible increase on one of your sub-stats. The best sub-stats you have, in my opinion, you're going to want speed, especially for your supports. A percentage of your HP attack and defense is going to be better than a flat-out stat. If you get a flat stat, with good buffs, then I would just keep it. But if you have like 2 of these, you might want to just trash it. It's going to be good to have the percentage. Speed is going to be good. Effect hit rate is only good for like your debuffers. If you want like your tank or your healer to resist debuffs, then get them with the effect resistance rate. these last three are going to be good for your DPS. But again, attack percentage, speed, and crit rate or crit damage is going to be the better ones. And you guys can ignore this. I kind of just want to set up for myself so that way I kind of know who what characters are going to be doing what, whether they're a debuffer, DPS, AoE, single target. I'm not even done putting all the characters here, by the way. This is just for myself, kind of a personal page there. Alright, so I want to share with you guys my character builds, essentially going over everything I plan on giving my characters once I get the set that I want. I was able to use all the information that I just showed you guys to put together what set I want, what planetary ornament set I want, and to pinpoint the sub-stats and the main stats that I want on my character. What I have here on the side is basically giving me a general breakdown of what the character does, as well as what eidolons I'm going to want at some point to capitalize on, right? So, a specific one would be like my Bailu. If you look at her eidolons at the bottom, she's going to be doing more healing output at E rank 2. She's going to be increasing the damage output of a target when healed by Bailu for 4 turns at E rank 4. And at max eidolon, she can revive an ally 2 times instead of 1 time at base level. So I kind of got basic information like that to let me know what I want to go for. So, the main characters I'm using right now is Whelp, Himiko, Sealy, my Fire Trailblazer, and Bailu as my healer. I'm going to be using Tang Yuan. And I do got Su Shang. I didn't make a set for her yet, but I do got Su Shang on here. So essentially what I did was like I got the set. Most of my characters you see is going to be using the fleet of the Ageless. So like if I have my party being the Fire Trailblazer, I got Bali using the Fleet of Ages. If I put Ting Yuan in there, that means I have 3 characters that's going to be giving me the attack up. So that's going to be kind of like buffing my entire party, right? So I kind of have that idea going there. I do have a basic set for my Ting Yuan that I did scrap. I'm not doing this anymore. I think I am using a full lightning set on my Ting Yuan now. This is kind of like an older slide. But I am going with the speed buff because I want her to go first. I need to see my fire tank is going for like the speed, defense, break effects, energy regain effects. I want my healer to be able to do more healing with the HP. My Seaway is not doing in the attack. I want to do the attack percentage and speed here. But attack percentage is what I want to go for on the rope. And then my Himiko is going to be full attack essentially on everything. And then my debuffer, to give you guys an example of that, of course this set was perfect for his Imprison skill. I'm going to be going for the effect, hit rate, and break effect. So that's kind of just an idea of what you guys can do when you make your character builds. What I suggest you do is make a build, know what substats you want to go for. That way when you're grinding out your relic sets, you guys don't waste any time on a trash piece of equipment, so that way you guys kind of know going into it. So if you go back into the game, alright guys, so now that we are back in game, I kind of want to tell you guys how you guys can use all the information we just talked about to help you formulate an in-game build. So some of the in-game builds that I showed you on my characters, how you use that information when you're grinding your fuel. Because when you're doing your fuel, one thing I want you guys to keep in mind is to be more efficient. I'm going to use my Bailu as an example. So for my Bailu, I wanted to grind this set right here. So when you teleport, you're going to have a chance to get sets from either one of these, right? You're guaranteed at least one from both of, not both of them, but you're going to guarantee at least one of these to drop, at least one piece. So, let's say for my Bailu, let's say I'll just take this off. Maybe you only have the, where's my 4-star at? Let's say you was grinding for your Bailu, and you got 3 out of the 4 pieces that you want. So you got 3 out of 4 pieces. It makes no sense for you guys to keep on. If you're only missing 1 piece, there's no reason to keep on doing this to end up with a lot of wasted stamina on the other set. So what you guys can do is, instead of wasting stamina here, there is a feature in the game that lets you customize the 5-piece that you want. And the way you do this is you guys can use your 5-star relics to salvage it. And then you'll end up with the relic remains. The relic remains can be used at 100, so 10 relics will be able to synthesize a piece of equipment that you want. So it costs about 100. And again, that's 10 relics per whichever one you salvage. So if I wanted to just hand pick the headpiece here, I can pick that. And if you use the battle pass at level 40, for the battle pass rank 40, they even give you a self-modeling resin for free to pick the main stat that you want on that piece of equipment. So it's even better for when you want to pinpoint the main stat. Now, how do you know when you got the build that you want? If you look at my Sealy, I took this one to plus 15. If you look at her substats, her main stat is good, and she's got attack and crit rate on this one. So that is the perfect in-game build for my Sealy. So this is really good for my Sealy. This is exactly what I want her to have. Alright, so you guys have the in-game piece that you want. What do you do with your other pieces? What if you don't have what you want? What if you end up like my Sealy's boots here? You got the main stat that you want, but the substats are trash, or it's not good for the character. Sealy does not need HP or effect hit rate, so I do not want to take this to plus 15. Plus 6 it, move on about your day. Now, another thing that you guys could do is, let's take a look at my Balu here. So when you guys are upgrading and you guys are synthesizing your gear and you get the build that you want, another thing that you guys can do, because you're going to end up with a lot of 4 stars, when you go to enhance it, if you're only gonna plus 6 it because it's a bad piece of gear or it's temp, what you can do is it takes literally 6 pieces of, it takes a full set of 6 4-stars to take it to plus 6. So you pretty much have all the enhancement material that you need for free to take it to plus 6. You don't need to go any farther than that. So that's what you guys can do with your 4-star relics. It's all just fodder for your 5-star relics. So hopefully this gives you guys a little bit more knowledge what you guys can do with your in-game builds. And I'm not gonna lie, overall, my characters perform pretty well. My characters all hit pretty high. I'm very, very satisfied with my Sealy, by the way. She's a really good build. Even my Himiko does pretty well. So that's just hopefully going to give you guys some basic common knowledge of what you guys can do. I really hope that you guys did save your fuel, because it's going to get you guys a lot of 5-star sets early. If you did not save, it's going to take you 2 to 3 weeks to get some of the stuff set up. But anyway, guys, that's all I got to say in this video. I hope you guys take care and get the sets that you want and have good RNG when it comes to your relic form. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.